Hello, my brothers on this page. Welcome again to a session which I decided to give to you. As you wake up in Nigeria Sunday morning, hopefully you will be able to watch this before you go to church or while driving to church, or if you are in the church and you get bored by the pastor, you can use your earphone to listen to this message. Here I am addressing my brothers, my Igbo brothers, on this honorary award of citizenship of Georgia that Nnamdi Kanu got. I am still receiving their messages, their inboxes, and their comments, and they're using certain phrases and words that really caused me to laugh. One of them said, "Oh, that I envy Nnamdi's award, so I should go get mine. That is so dumb. I live in America. I don't need it. Honestly, I don't need it. I will laugh. Anyway, you don't get it without applying for it or having someone apply for it. So I will never apply for it. So I will never need it. Let's get that clear, guys. I will never need such a thing. Okay? It's meaningless. Honorary citizen. Just look at it. The word honorary already tells you what it is. You cannot give honorary citizenship to somebody who is a citizen. Do you get it? Honorary. Let me look up the word honorary, because I think these my Igbo brothers, surprisingly so ignorant. I thought these guys were intelligent. Honorary. Honorary, what does honorary mean? Okay? Okay? Honorary. Okay, what does it mean? Okay? Yes, looking at it. It says here, honorary is an honor without function, without substance. It's a shadow, a symbolic, a gesture. So if you have something already, that thing cannot be given to you honorary, because you have it already. The word honorary means not the substance, not the real thing. Okay? Okay? You know? It is something without function, something without the real thing. It is like giving you a photocopy of the original. If you have the original, you don't need to be working with the photocopy. So, but that doesn't mean that the thing has no meaning. I've explained to you. It is something good. I commend him for it. It's fantastic. I mean, he applied for it and he got it. It's an achievement to the extent that he got what he applied for. I'm not against his honorary citizenship award. I just want you to know it's not U.S. citizenship. It's not U.S. government that gave it. If you thought that U.S. gave it to him, you're a fool. Because even it's written there. It is the Secretary of State for State of Georgia. Citizenship is not decided at state level in the United States. You can't, for you to be a U.S. citizen, it's decided at the federal level. There's a straightforward protocol for that. Nnamdi is not a United States citizen. He doesn't need to be a United States citizen. That is the whole thing. He's already a British citizen. He doesn't need to be a U.S. citizen. There is no benefit of U.S. citizenship for him. I can tell you that. So he hasn't lost anything by not being a U.S. citizen. And therefore he hasn't gained anything by being given honorary citizenship. It's nothing to celebrate in that sense. It's fun. He and his friends can have a beer. In fact, it will be a reason for somebody to visit him in prison and they will make a photocopy of that and give the officer in charge of the prison. And the officer in charge of prison, if he's daft, as some of you are, he will think this is too much. But he will probably be smart. In fact, to tell you the truth from my observation, and I don't mean this in a negative sense, I hope my brothers will forgive me, but honestly, an average Yoruba person and an average Hausa person or average Fulani person will know the meaning of honorary citizenship. Why is it that an average Igbo person is not as smart as the average Hausa or average Yoruba person? Even though we say we are intelligent people, we the Igbos, we want to feel we're the most intelligent people. And that is because people confuse cunning with intelligence. Being crafty, cunning, and being able to, manipulate things, trick things, that's not intelligence, really. So when it comes to cunning and clever by half, we are good. We the Igbos are very good. But when it comes to intelligence in enduring sense, in what we call organized behavior, with collective outcome and strategy, we are not smart. Igbos are not the smartest in the country. That's a fact. So that's why many of you are misunderstanding what honorary award is. Okay? I told you it is good thing, it is wonderful thing, but don't misinterpret it. I'll give you an example. Let's say you receive a gift of Okada. It is something. Of course, Okada is worth something. It's not easy to have Okada. It's important, it's a great thing. You are better than somebody who is trekking if you have Okada. But it would be foolish for you to call Okada Lamborghini. It would be foolish for you to say that the Okada is a private jet. That is the problem. So when I say, no, it's not a private jet, it doesn't mean that it's not worth something. It's worth the value of Okada. I'm not envious, please. I have to explain this to you. I'm really troubled that you people continue to say so. I'm not envious of Nnamdi Kanu. How can you be envious of a man in prison? Are you stupid? To be envious of somebody means you want to be in that person's shoes. If I'm envious of you, that means that I wish I were you. Now I'm staying in my house, enjoying myself. I just finished wonderful Greek yogurt with avocado and peanuts. Very beautiful mix. Oh, why did I reveal it to you? Because I'm sure you will start making your own Greek yogurt and avocado. I shouldn't have told you that. But anyway, I just finished it. Wonderful. And I drank water, drank coffee. If I like, I will go and sleep. And I wake up anytime I like. I make calls anywhere I want to call, anybody I want to call. Go and check things, type things. Or go and record something for my Nigerian brothers. Here, as I'm doing now. I do it. So why would I begin to envy a man in prison? So that means I want to be in Sokoto prison. I can't envy Nnamdi for that. Now, is there any other thing I envy in Nnamdi? All right. Yes, Nnamdi has a supporters. He has 5 million supporters who are hailing him. I don't have 5 million supporters hailing me. So he's better than I in terms of number of supporters. So, but do I envy him? No. You know why I don't envy him? Because his supporters are idiots. I don't want to be supported by fools. Because it means I have to be giving them foolish message. The type Nnamdi gives you, Nnamdi tells you that Igbo language is the language spoken in heaven. And you people start rejoicing. And he tells you, oh, the only thing I asked Elohim in this world is Biafra. I don't want hotels, I don't want oil blocks, I just want Biafra. That's the only thing I'm here for. Fools like you will start rejoicing. Why would he need the hotel when IPOB is already giving him more money than a hotel will give him? And by the way, why did he mention hotel? Because he wanted to mock Wazirike. You people don't even think. Why did he choose hotel in the talk? Because Wazirike was another man who started with Biafran agitation and ended up with hotels, where they make pounded yam and pepper soup and serve people. If people eat your pepper soup in his hotel, one plate of pepper soup, maybe 5,000. What is the profit in it? Maybe 1,000 or 2,000. That's too small. That's too small. But when people are, I mean, at least you have to, when they give you their 5,000, you have to give them pepper soup. But in IPOB, they'll give you their 5,000, you don't give them anything. You give them some bullshit. You give them some stories about their language, being language in heaven. So, he doesn't need a hotel. He has something greater than hotel in terms of, he has cash cows, people that they get money from. Listen, the purpose of this honorary thing which they advertised, I can tell you the purpose is very simple. When Nnamdi, in a situation like this, that Nnamdi has gone to prison, there is uncertainty in the minds of IPOB members. All those who expected Biafra are now wondering if it will come. And if it will not come, they don't want to keep throwing their money. So Nnamdi has to find a way to give you the impression that Biafra is coming, that Biafra is still possible. Remember, he used to tell you that Trump supported him, Netanyahu supported him, European Union, the Queen, they all told Buhari to let Biafrans go. That's what he was telling you, right? Wasn't it? You believe in it? Okay. He has to find something new. And it should be something dramatic, something you can see. So that is the importance of the honorary citizenship. They got it, they gave it to you, and they gave it to you. You can see it. Certificate, nice certificate, honorary citizen. So it's supposed to restore hope. For those of you who thought, who realized that the agitation, Biafra wasn't coming, he needed to give you something to think, something you can enjoy, something to restore hope. It's called Operation Restore Hope. So once they show that, you continue to contribute. Go ahead and contribute. I'm not stopping you. But stop being stupid by saying I'm envious of what? Why will I be envious of him? I don't need this. They can't give it to me. It is meant for people who are not Americans. It's meant for foreigners. People, they can't be given to me. I don't need it. I won't apply for it. So I'm not envious. Okay, guys? Take it easy, my brothers. Try to learn something. You see, one of the reasons why I don't support Biafra is that there are too many ignorant people in Igbo land. Igbo land have a lot of. There is something about us that troubles me, which is why I worry what will happen if they give us our own country. The Igbos are the only people where an illiterate, a stark illiterate, will argue with a professor, and after arguing with the professor on physics, on quantum physics, the illiterate will turn to the professor and get angry that the professor did not follow his ideas. Let me tell you something. There are illiterates in Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani land, just as there are illiterates in Igbo land. There are uneducated people in Yoruba. There are uneducated people everywhere. But there is difference between uneducated Yoruba and uneducated Igbo. There's a difference between uneducated Igbo and uneducated Fulani. Do you know the difference? Let me explain to you. The uneducated Yoruba knows he is not educated. He knows he doesn't know it. So he's willing to learn. He knows he doesn't know it. Uneducated Hausa person knows that he doesn't know it. And when an uneducated Hausa person meets an educated man, he's willing to listen and learn. When an uneducated Yoruba man meets an educated person, he's willing to listen. He will listen and follow and respect the knowledge of the educated person. Now, this is what happens when an uneducated Igbo man comes out. When an uneducated Igbo man meets an educated man, the uneducated Igbo man thinks that the uneducated man is a fool. I mean, that the educated man is a fool. The uneducated Igbo wants the educated person to follow him. An uneducated Igbo is angry that the professor is not taking advice from him. The problem we have in Igbo land is that the fools, the worst members of the society, the least educated, want to take over. And the educated people will follow them. Isn't that what happened in IPOB? That's what happened in IPOB. Nnamdi knows nothing. Forget these things he's making. You know, eloquence is not intelligence. Familiarity is not intelligence. The fact that somebody is used to this. Okay, a lot of you have had this phone have had a phone for a long time, using these phones, but you still don't know how the circuits work. You still don't know how it was possible to transmit data wirelessly. You don't know how the Bluetooth works. Do you understand the psychology of Bluetooth? Do you understand why two devices not connected by any wire are transmitting and exchanging information? You don't know it, even though you have had a phone. So being familiar with something doesn't mean you have knowledge of that thing. So our Igbo people, they lack core knowledge of issues, but they take their familiarity as a sign of knowledge. So you see a rich man, a rich trader in Igbo land who can buy a car and buy a thing. So he thinks that he has become a philosopher. He thinks he doesn't know how anything works. He doesn't even understand combustion engine. He doesn't understand mechanics. Listen, people who don't understand the explosive qualities of bullets, people who don't know that bullets can kill, people who believe in Odesh, how can they say they're intelligent? But they are the people. A person that believes in Odesh will be telling a nuclear physicist what he should do. That is my problem. Mbakana also, you are there, I can see your message. That is my problem, my brother. That is it. And I say these things not out of hatred for my brothers. I love you, boys, but I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed when I look at you. You know, they say it is the brother of the blind man who feels ashamed when the blind man misses the soup plate and touches his zeba on sand and swallows it. That is it. When I see your behavior and I'm looking at other people, the Yorubas are laughing at you. The Fulanis are laughing at you. Because you are celebrating honorary citizenship given by Georgia. You are now saying it was US that gave it. Many of you wrote to me and said, can't you see the citizenship United States gave him? Who told you? Even the person who announced it told you it was Georgia. Secretary of State of Georgia. He said he wrote it there. But in your mind, you don't care? You don't understand the difference between Georgia and United States? My brother, it is unbelievable also. I feel ashamed. You know, they say, oh, I'm a Yoruba. I'm not a Yoruba. But I don't consider it insult. Yorubas are nice people. It's just by accident that I was born an Igbo. I could have been born a Yoruba person, and I would not have regretted it. I would just have been very fantastically happy. They're nice people, intelligent people, people of culture, and respectful people. Compared to my Igbo people, the Yorubas are far more respectful. If I were Yoruba today, and I'm with the Yorubas will recognize my education, They'll recognize my experience. And when I speak to a Yoruba person who doesn't have my experience, he will listen to me and respect me. But when I speak to an Igbo, a trader who doesn't know anything, he's educating me. I told you, is it not? I see Igbo, illiterate Igbos coming and say, you don't know anything anyway. It's not surprising now. It's only an Igbo man that will tell a judge he didn't know the law. You don't know law. You don't know law. I know law. Only an Igbo man will do that. An Igbo leader. A leader of the IPOB. And when he was saying it, all of you were happy. You were cheering him, clapping for him. I was looking at you people laughing. You thought he was doing the right thing. I'm sure that 99% of IPOB members believe that Nnamdi Kanu knows the law better than anybody else in this world. Because they have turned Nnamdi Kanu into their God. Nnamdi Kanu cannot have fault. He's no longer a human being. He's from Elohim. And you still think you are wise? You are foolish. 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 You know? So that is the difference. I cannot imagine Sunday Igboho. I cannot imagine a Yoruba. I cannot imagine a Fulani person. I cannot imagine an Hausa person. A defendant in a criminal court tell a judge, you don't know law. You don't know law. You don't know law. I know law. Stupid people. And before Nnamdi's conviction, many of you say, oh, he must be released unconditionally. He must be, are you stupid? I told you he will not be released unconditionally. But there's something you don't even know. Nnamdi applied for out-of-court settlement. I never heard that you can settle criminal cases out of court that way. He said, out-of-court settlement. The lawyer raised it. The judge said, well, why not talk to the prosecution? The lawyer talked to the prosecution. The prosecution said, well, why not talk to the attorney general? It's not in my hand. Remember, I'm appointed to handle this case. They want to settle it out of court. Do you know what it meant? It meant they want to discuss terms and conditions Nnamdi will give. So Nnamdi himself was offering conditions. Please release me to go home. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me your conditions. They said, we are not interested. While Nnamdi was willing to accept conditions, was asking for conditions, his stupid followers were saying, unconditional, unconditional. Are you mad? Why would they release? Have you ever heard of anybody released unconditionally? Have you ever heard anybody arrested and released unconditionally? Then, if they released him unconditionally, then they shouldn't have arrested him. There was a reason they arrested him. There was something he was doing or something they suspected he was doing. So even if they're going to release you, they will release you on the condition that you will stop that thing. They cannot release you unconditionally. Only an idiot will think so. And my brothers, many of them are idiots. As I showed you in my earlier listing, I love the Igbos. There are smart guys like Mbakana. Mbakana Gamozo. He's a good man, smart guy. He's laughing at what I'm saying. He's thrilled. He's thrilled by it. He can't believe so. You know, that's our brother. These are our brothers. Mbakana. On the bang. Oh, Munani. Our brothers ndị Igbo. Nzobu eyimba, nzobu eyimba, zobu eyimba, zoburu nwoke eyimba, zoburu nwanyi eyimba, enyi zobu eyimba, enyi zobu eyimba, zobu eyimba, enyi zobu eyimba, zobu eyimba, enyi zobu eyimba, zoburu nwoke eyimba, zoburu nwanyi eyimba. That is us. Nzobu. Instead of sitting down and thinking and planning, you make noise. Call yourself smart. Call yourself God's own children. And then convince yourself that Elohim sent you Nnamdi Kanu and that the world will shake, and Nigeria is zoo, and you are chosen people of Israel, and in heaven they speak our language. Igbo language is what they speak in heaven. And then you give another interview and say, I'm not an Igbo, I hate to be an Igbo, don't call me an Igbo, anything called Igbo is cursed, I am Biafra. So is it Igbo language they speak in heaven or Biafran language? Does Biafra have a language? When I checked during the Biafra, Ojukwu's language was English. Biafran war was fought on English, in English language. Fake Igbo people. You are fake. If you cannot read and write in Igbo language, you are fake Igbo people. And 90% of IPOB members cannot read in English, they cannot write in English. They can't read in English, they can't write in English. So they can't read or write in Igbo language, forgive me. They can't read and write in Igbo language. And if you can't read in Igbo language, you can't write in Igbo language, stop calling yourself an Igbo person. First come, let me teach you. I'll teach you how to read and write in Igbo. After that, then I will interview you and determine whether you can be called an Igbo person or not. All of you pretending to be Igbo people, you are not Igbo people. You cannot speak pure Igbo language. You cannot write in Igbo language. You cannot read in Igbo language. Maybe the only thing you know is how to chew human body, human meat. That's what you know. Okay? So, if you want us to be friends, I'm a friendly person. I'm a nice person. Those of you who know me, I'm nice. Those of you who are stupid enough to call me names and threaten me and blackmail me and say you are Igbo, you're bullshit Igbo. You're not Igbo at all. And if I see you, I will smack your bum bum. You're not Igbo at all. Igbo people are dignified people, respectful people, hardworking people, purposeful people, thoughtful people, logical people. That's what the Igbos are. But what I'm seeing in you people are a bunch of knuckleheads who don't know their right from left, who don't know when to shut up, who don't know when to ask questions, always projecting their ignorance and thinking they know anything. I've lived in America for 32 years. No, I've lived in America for 33 years, for goodness sake. But it is you that will be educating me on America. I have been here for 33 years, longer than when you were born. Some of you were not. If you are less than 33 years old, I want you to know I came to America before you were born. You haven't crossed Nigeria. You don't even have a passport, how much less a visa. But you are educating me on America. You are the one teaching me America, where I live. Only an Igbo man will do that. A Yoruba man cannot do that. Hausa man cannot do that. And you want me to actually learn, and I will learn America from you. That's the way you all go to some native doctor to get juju to pass exams, even though the native doctor is an illiterate. You are getting from an illiterate juju to pass exam. That shows how stupid you are. That's also how you go to poor money. You go to a poor juju man to get money on how to be rich. If the juju man knows how to make anybody rich, why wouldn't he make himself rich first? You see a poor, hungry man, an illiterate man, so poor, but you go there and say you came to get juju to be rich. Only an Igbo man does that. Only our people do that. So, to pass exams. Oh, I want to pass exams. I want to get juju. Yeah, where will you get the juju? I'm going to that native man, spiritual man. You go, the man will charge you money. and you pay him so he will give you charms to pass exams. But it didn't occur to you that the man is a stark illiterate. He couldn't pass any exams himself. His children are illiterate. They're not. But it's you that he will make smart and pass exams. Tomorrow you come and say, I'm an Igbo man. You're not an Igbo man. You're a disgrace. Igbo people are great people. I love Igbo people. Smart, wonderful people. That's the real Igbo people. But fake Igbo people are on social media talking nonsense. Celebrating. Mazi, I didn't see the message you sent to me. Oh, Mazi, I didn't see that message. I checked. I don't know where you sent it, Mazi. Did you send it to WhatsApp or what, Mazi? Okay, you know what I will do? Send it to my WhatsApp number now. You know our WhatsApp, DPO WhatsApp. 080 0818 000 8266. 0818 000 8266. Send it there, my brother. I was looking for your message, Mazi. I didn't find it, so it better not be an emergency. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Okay, but let me just keep talking to our... okay, I want to know what led to the fight and criticism. Oh, okay, I can address it. Mazi asked a question. He said, you still haven't replied to my message. I want to learn fight and criticism. Okay, very good. Mazi, God bless you. Mazi, God bless you, because you see, you asked a question, an honest question. I must answer your question. You approached me reasonably. I will answer your question, absolutely. But assuming you had come down and started abusing me, I will not respond, or I will abuse you back. But anybody who wants to know what... So, Mazi has asked what led to this criticism and fight. Okay, I will explain it to you. It is multi-layered. Since 2019, Mazi, since 2019, I have been writing, warning IPOB members, and then Nnamdi was reading my messages. He was reading my messages until 2021 June when he was arrested. But even before then, I had met Nnamdi in 2017 because I helped in his legal defense then. And I explained to him that the agitation he was pursuing was fake. I didn't use the word fake. I said, you know you can't give them Biafra. You are not going to give them Biafra. You know that. I told him that. He wouldn't give Biafra. I encouraged him. I said, since you have large following in Nnamdi, why not convert it into legitimate political democratic force? Use it to control elections in the Southeast, so that nobody can become a governor in the Southeast without the blessing of IPOB, since you have the number. I said, if you can control the politics of the Southeast, then you can also control the policies of the Southeast politicians. Do it that way. He smiled and gave it a thought, but he didn't do it that way. He kept doing reckless things that will put him in trouble, that will create mess for him. You were on bail. We just managed to get you bail. And that bail, a lot of politics went into that bail. Buhari allowed the bail. Buhari allowed Nnamdi Kanu to get bail. He told them not to oppose the bail application. And part of the terms of the bail was they said, no, you are dangerous, they shouldn't make you this, you're a threat to the government, you are committing treason. That's the allegations. And we said, no, you're a nice person, you're not committing treason, you're not threatening anybody. And the judge said, okay, I grant you bail, but don't attend a gathering of more than 10 people. That was hard now. And I said to Nnamdi, listen, we are going to apply to vary this term, to remove this limitation of 10 people, so you can meet more people. That's the right thing to do. Nnamdi didn't do any of those things. Instead, the next thing I heard was a rally where he had thousands of people. And then he said, I'm going to Abuja to cut the head of Buhari. Haba. Haba. We just begged, managed to get you this bail. And you want to do this. Maz, I'm explaining to you. So you put, at that moment, I said to myself, no, Emeka, you can't represent this guy. I can't be part of this nonsense. That was when I pulled out. 2017, July. I was in the US when soldiers invaded his house, but I'm monitoring those things. But how did the soldiers go to his house? I knew. The soldiers did not mean to go to his house. The soldiers were in the area to control violence. It was Nnamdi's supporters that were poking the soldiers, engaging them in debate, harassing them. The soldiers got angry and went to his house. The instruction was not from above. Instruction was not go to his house. No, it was because of what was happening in the street near his house. And then Nnamdi knew it would happen, and Nnamdi was not at home. He was in a hotel. And then the soldiers they began to raise alarm that the people should go and protect their leader. And these IPOB people began to go to Nnamdi's house to go and protect their leader, but their leader was not there. Samuel, yes, I'm okay. I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth. Forget this, your nonsense propaganda. This is the truth. Nnamdi was saying, hey, go and protect your leader. Go and protect your leader. There was announcing it, but your leader was not in the house. Your leader was in the hotel. So that's altercation led to the killing of people. And then Nnamdi left from that hotel. But Nnamdi would tell you he was in the house. How did he escape? He said, I don't know. I just found myself. Bullshit. Am I a child? You know, when you say these things, we can leave you, okay? We can leave you to lie, but there's a limit. My fear, Mazi, Ike, was that Nnamdi Kanu consistently engaged in conducts and utterances that will result in the death of our people. It will result in the death of youths. And those youths are dying. And he doesn't care. Nnamdi was doing everything, saying things that were calculated to provoke violence, which will result in the death of people. Just the same thing I began to do. Pay some people money to go and start shooting people, enforcing sit-at-home. So why do something that we knew, everybody knew, will not work? Every intelligent person would know that Nnamdi's utterances was going to provoke confrontation, and those confrontations will be between unarmed Igbo people and armed soldiers, which will result in the killing of the Igbos. That is my annoyance. The reckless endangerment of the lives of the Igbos. That's what Nnamdi did that is wrong. Then I used my message cautioning them. They never listened. They never listened. If you check my post, you will see I shared it recently. A week before Nnamdi was arrested in Kenya, I told people he would be arrested. How did I know? I knew he was wanted in UK. I knew that no European country would tolerate his incitement. I predicted he would be arrested, but I thought he would be arrested in UK. The only thing different from my prediction was that he was arrested in Kenya. However, after he was arrested in Kenya, I understood how the whole thing played out. And I kept saying that. Then Nnamdi went there, he went through trial. I was hoping that at least when the trial will come up, Nnamdi will have an opportunity to explain himself. Tell us why all these things happen. Let the world hear you. I was honestly hoping that he would do so. So when Nnamdi turned and said he was not going to call witnesses, he's not going to call defense, I was devastated. So this guy has taken people for a ride. All this nonsense you did, you can't explain it in court. They gave you the opportunity to explain these things in court and you chose not to explain it. Instead, you antagonized the judge, said he didn't know the law, and said, God will punish the judge. So this is all it meant, Nnamdi. That was when I was mad. I got very angry and fed up. Okay? That was when I got very upset. I hope, Mazi Ike, if you are listening, I want you to indicate that you are still listening. Even if you don't believe me, at least show me that you are still listening. So I will continue this explanation. Okay? So that was it. I was shocked. The world is waiting for you now. Call ife na agano. Call ife na agano. Kainu no nugi. If I didn't get Kuba where's there now? You were on the radio talking chon radio threatening, and now is the time. Tell us. Tell us what happened in Nandi. Maybe I said to myself, maybe there was something I didn't know. Maybe there was something I didn't understand. But thank God we are going to trial. This man will stand up there and shake the world and explain the anger, explain the problem of the Igbos, and let the world hear him. I was expecting that. So when Nnamdi said he had no defense, he will not call witnesses, he will not put up any defense, he will not explain anything. Oh, I was pained. So all those people that died in vain? So you mean all these children who went out for Biafra, for Nnamdi, they got killed, they got slaughtered? So you mean they died for nothing? I was mad. That was when I got angry. I was upset really, because I remember the Igbos that died. I remember our brothers that died. Those are people's children. I'm a father. My son is 27 years old. Can you imagine if my son dies now? And I will die. If you kill my son, I'm dead. I don't think I can survive the death of my son. So I think that is how everybody took his own child. Can you imagine now, if my son were to be in Nigeria, and they say my son is IPOB, and they're going for rallies, and they shoot my son, and then I'm waiting for you, maybe you can explain to us why my son died. We are listening to hear it, and you came out and said, no, you have nothing to say. The judge doesn't know law, and they can't jail you because you are Nnamdi Kanu. They can't jail me. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu. They can't. My son is dead. How do you explain it? And now those people you set up called yes, and they're killing people in our village, killing brothers, burning houses. My house is burnt. My brother was killed. So Nnamdi, what is the explanation? Can you just tell us something? And all you will say is, no, they can't jail you. I'm a Nnamdi Kanu. The judge doesn't know law. You don't know law. You don't know law. I tell you, you don't know law. You don't know law. Eh? So that's why people died. So that's what we will tell my people. So now, I will tell my child that was killed, hey, sorry, you died because the judge didn't know law. That was when I turned. I have explained to you when I got upset, because now there's nothing else we're expecting. He will never have another opportunity to explain himself. He has squandered the opportunity, our hope and expectations to hear an explanation for the tragedy and the atrocities that occurred in the Southeast. All of those things are, we can't get explanation. We can't get explanation. All right. Then, let me get to the final stage when I got very, very angry. Then, I began to express my frustration and dissatisfaction. Immediately, I write a little thing. Some of you will attack me. You don't know me. If you attack me, I will destroy your leader. If you attack me, I'll destroy whoever you think you're representing. People, listen, I have taken all kind of bullshit from Nigerian online trolls. There's one thing you know about Ugwuonye. I will not run away. If you attack me with one punch, I'll give you 20 punches. Indeed, I'll keep hitting you even when you're dead. So why am I so aggressive? You caused me to be aggressive. Your insults and attacks pushed me to fight you. Let me see what you would do. Because in the end, I will defeat you. I don't care about your number. I have the logic. I have the argument. I have the eloquence. I will fucking defeat you. So that is it. If you didn't attack me, maybe I wouldn't have said more than the first time I spoke. I said, the way this case is going, Nnamdi Kanu is likely to be convicted. You descended on me. Attacked me. Called me things. Called me unimaginable things. When you did that, I laughed. I said, he would likely to be convicted. I was nice and mild. But when you attacked me, I changed my tone. I said, he will be convicted and he will not go to Kuje because of this, because of this, because of this, because of this. And everything I said happened that way. Listen, I still know more things I can say that will hurt you guys. But I'm exercising restraint until you provoke me enough. Then I'll fucking hit you. And if you say you are Igbo, oh, you are not an Igbo, you are not, I say, fuck you. Being an Igbo is, Igbos are stupid people, as you are demonstrating it. You think I'm afraid to say it. Oh, he can't say it now. He'll be afraid of it. Some of you are so dumb that you begin to say, I wonder where you will be when Biafra will come. Are you stupid? Who told you Biafra is going to come? Why will Biafra come? Explain it to me. You're not even intelligent enough to understand honorably a word. How will we give you a country? And if they give you a country, you commit suicide in that country because you are dumb. All these myths about Igbos being superior, stop kidding yourself. You are not superior to anything. If you are superior, why are they ruling you in Nigeria? All you know is how to complain in corners. I know that the Igbos will revive and come back to greatness, but we're looking at 50 years away. Not now. 50, 100 years away. The Igbos I see today are gullible people. They're not ready for statehood. And look at how you are pursuing your Biafra out of complete lies and ignorance. Oh, US, by the way, I told them in 2020, for Biafra to make any headway, you need to have diplomatic support, not military strength. Pursue diplomatic support. I knew that if there is any military confrontation, Biafra will lose again 100 times. Biafra will always lose in a military confrontation with Nigeria, unless you don't understand military science, unless you don't understand armed conflict. Biafra will always lose. Biafra has what we call strategic vulnerability. Listen to me now, because I know many of you are not intelligent, but you'll get it. Strategic vulnerability. What do I mean by strategic vulnerability? Okay. The Igbos are the most dispersed group in Nigeria. What do I mean by dispersed group? Igbos are everywhere. There are millions of Igbos in Lagos State alone. There is probably more than 1 million of Igbos in Kano, Port Harcourt, Abuja. Igbos are dispersed. So that makes Igbos, it makes us strong if we go for one Nigeria. The one Nigerian project will favor the Igbos because the Igbos are everywhere. They are dominating markets everywhere. All the key markets in Lagos are controlled by the Igbos 99%. You go to Abuja, those of you that live in Abuja, have you gone to Banex trading shop, shopping center? Have you gone to Banex market? 99% Igbos. In Katsina, the market, auto parts, 99 Igbos. Igbos. If you go to Computer Village in Abuja, 99 Igbos. You go to Computer Village in Lagos, 98 Igbos. You go to Computer Village anywhere, Igbos, Igbos, Igbos. So, the big Nigeria is favorable to us. Now, look at if we divide Nigeria and create Biafra alone. It is going to place the Igbos at a strategic weakness. Why? Because Nigeria may come up with special regulation to disadvantage the Igbos in Abuja, because by then, Abuja will become a foreign country for an Igbo man. And then Nigeria can make special regulation, immigration-related regulations against foreigners. No country allows foreigners to dominate any important sector of its economy. No country will allow foreigners to dominate its computer market, spare parts market, because that will make that country strategically weak. So what do? They'll come up with regulation that will suppress you and take away the advantage you have. Very simple logic. It's not complicated. So because of that, the Igbos are strategically weak, because this is what will happen. If we ask for referendum today, Nigeria could come up with proposals that will scare the Igbos in Lagos and Abuja. Nigeria could say, sure, the Igbos can form their own country and secede. However, the shops owned by the Igbos in Abuja will be subject to special regulation, because they will become properties owned by foreign nationals. When that happens, an Igbo man sees he's going to lose his shop if he votes for referendum, he will not vote for referendum. He will not vote for Biafra, because it doesn't matter what you think. The man cares about his shop and livelihood and his family before he thinks about your Biafra. Forget that nonsense. So, I already know that there are hundreds of ways to frustrate this Igbo project. First and foremost, I know that the South are not with you. South doesn't like Igbos. So, Port Harcourt, Cross River, that's Rivers, Cross Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and Delta State, they don't want to be in Biafra. They will never, not only do they not want to be in Biafra, they want to put a wall to make sure you don't enter there. So what are you going to do with those 5 states as your country? You see, because you are illiterate, you don't know that when you are encircled by one country, you can never have a problem with that country. You can never be greater than the country that circles you completely. It's not possible now. The Biafra you can have now, the 5 southeastern states, are completely encircled by Nigeria. They are a dot inside Nigeria. You know what it means? If a plane takes off from Biafra, it cannot enter international airspace without first flying over Nigerian territory. It has to fly over Nigerian airspace. And Nigerian airspace can bring down your plane and search it in Kano. Your plane can take off in Enugu and intercepted by Air Force, Nigerian Air Force, and ask you to land in Abuja for them to search if you are carrying weapons. How would Biafra buy weapons as a sovereign state? How will you buy weapons? You think Nigeria will allow you to fly in weapons? They want to know. They want to intercept. It's in their security interest to make sure Nigeria is not acquiring certain weapons they don't know about. Then you decide to move by land. Let's say your port stops in Warri or Port Harcourt or Lagos. You can't get to Biafra without crossing Nigerian land. Let's say they dredge River Niger and you say you want to use the River Niger. Once the boat enters River Niger, it is in Port Harcourt, River State territory or Bayelsa territory. It has to pass Nigerian territory before it will enter Biafran territory. So Nigerian custom can intercept it, Nigerian Navy can intercept it, can search it, can seize the goods. So it's very obvious. So before you have Biafra, it requires intelligent debate and discussion and collaboration with Nigeria so they don't view it as a hostile measure. So they don't turn against you. What is the point having Biafra and every Biafra will be applying to Nigeria for naturalization? to become Nigerian citizen? Do you have common sense? If they give you Biafra today, many of you cannot survive without applying to naturalize, begging Nigeria to give you Nigerian citizenship. You already have Nigerian citizenship. They give you Biafra, you now come and pay money to have Nigerian citizenship again. Are you stupid? So when we have discussion like this, I expect people to ask me questions the way Maz Ike asked me questions. Maz Ike asked questions, that's why I'm explaining. And I will always be glad to explain. But if you start by abusing me, expecting that I'll start defending myself, explaining, God punish you. If you abuse me, God punish you. I can't talk with you. If you abuse me, I abuse you. I abuse your father and your mother. I'm not gentle. I'm gentle when I deal with non-Nigerians. If I go out and meet non-Nigerians, I'm gentle. If I meet Nigerians, I'm not gentle. They are ruffians. They are troublesome people. And I'm ready to fight them. Especially if they're Igbos. Okay. Any further question? I can take it. Otherwise, I'm gonna end it. Okay? So you now know why I'm angry. I'm very angry. I'm angry with Nnamdi Kanu. He disappointed us. Wasted lives. You started something you cannot finish. Something you can't even explain. Explain in court. When Mandela was tried, he explained himself. I have never seen so-called freedom fighter. They try in court, you cannot explain yourself. All you can do is to abuse the judge. You can't explain the Biafra you wanted. You can't explain those radio broadcasts you were making. You can't even tell them why you made those broadcasts. Disaster. Disaster. All right. I can see there's no further question. Let me see if there's any other question. If there, Ike, I hope I answered your question. Okay, yes, there's somebody here that says the Ghanaian. Let me see. Okay, somebody said I'm a Ghanaian. Let me see if I can see this thing. I thought I saw someone who said I'm a Ghanaian. Oh yes, that is Sadiq Nasser. Sadiq Nasser said here. Okay, Sadiq Nasser said, I am a Ghanaian, but I respect you, sir, for the great work you are doing. More grease to you, elbow. Thank you, Sadiq. I'm glad you're a Ghanaian. You saw what had happened between Nigeria and Ghana. During the days of Shagari, they said Ghanaians must go. Ghana must go. Ghana must go. Because Ghana was a different country. Even though it was stupid to ask Ghanaians to go, but you could do it because Ghanaians were a different country. Assuming the whole of West Africa was one country, Nigeria will not take Ghanaians to go because that is their country too. So now look at the crisis going on in Ghana, where some Ghanaians were protesting against Nigerians in Ghana. That's because Nigeria is a different country from Ghana. If they were fellow Ghanaians, if Ghanaians and Nigerians were in one country, nobody would tell the other to go. So now, if you create Biafra, then Nigerians may tell the Igbos to leave Abuja. And the Igbos will not have Hausans they can tell to leave. How many Hausans are doing business in Igbo land? How many Hausans have mansions in Igbo land? How many Hausans have investment in Igbo land? So the Biafra does not have capacity to retaliate. So in other words, if Nigeria orders Biafrans to leave Nigerian territory, Biafra cannot order Nigerians to leave Biafran territory because there are not many. They have got nothing. Only a madman, only an opportunist or an ignorant fellow will approach this Biafran thing in the way Nnamdi Kanu approached it. It's dumb. But thank you. Thank you, Nasir. Thank you so much. Let me see if there are questions or comments that I should talk. Yes, Kingsley, that was the vision of Zik, but also that was the vision of Awolowo. I attached something today. Let me do it here so that you can get it. Let me do it from my other phone. This is very important. Okay, I attached something here, a post I made yesterday. Let me do it. Come on, damn it. All right. I did a post yesterday, and in that post, I did the following. In that post, I did the following. Okay. This is very important. You will like it. Okay. Okay. You will like it. So let me do this. Okay. All right. Okay, now.
One of the major difficulties when independence comes to Nigeria.
Oh, sorry. Listen to this. Oh, no. Where is it?
When independence comes to Nigeria will be the rivalry between the western and the eastern regions.
This is Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who is the leader of the western region of Nigeria, which has just celebrated its self-government. Not complete independence, but self-government within the Federation of Nigeria. Now, Chief Awolowo's title here is Premier, to distinguish him from the federal Prime Minister. Can you tell us how much self-government you now have in western Nigeria?
As you know, ours is a federal constitution. Under the constitution, certain matters like defense, foreign affairs, ports and railways are exclusive federal subjects. All other matters which are not declared exclusive federal subjects are residual subjects over which the regions have authority. In regard to those subjects, we are completely self-governing now.
Are you in western Nigeria content to remain part of a greater Nigeria, or do you hope one day for complete independence?
Indeed, we are content to remain part of the Federation of Nigeria. We have no intention at all of severing connection with this great country.
Do you think that Nigerians are beginning to think of themselves now as...
Sorry. Oh, hold on.
Number 7, Lima Whiskey, right down departure approved out of below.
Hold on.
one nation?
Indeed, they have begun to think of themselves as citizens of this great country. And all enlightened Nigerians are determined to ensure that Nigeria remains united.
But not all Nigerians are enlightened.
Okay. Did you hear Awolowo? Awolowo said, he was asked that question. Are you planning to break away from Nigeria? He said, no. That we we are contented with remaining in this united Nigeria. So it wasn't only Zeke that wanted united Nigeria. Awolowo said it there. They asked him, are you guys ready? He said that every enlightened Nigerian is happy to be part of this great nation. That's Awolowo. I don't know which history people read. I don't know where you got the idea. Every intelligent, it wasn't only Zeke. Zeke understood the importance of a great country. So he wanted Nigeria. Awolowo too wanted Nigeria. Nobody wanted a breakup. Nobody. No intelligent person wants to be broken into smaller country. Indeed, if we had our way, the whole of West Africa should be one country. Sadiq, can you imagine if Ghana and Nigeria are one country? So fantastic, so great. It would be impossible to start Boko Haram problem in one distance because the country is too big for anybody to threaten it. If the whole of West Africa was one country, there will be no queue. How can you start queue? If you start queue in one area, the other soldiers will not come along. So once you carve your country into small enclaves, that is the nonsense. That's what kept Africa poor, is because we were carved up by the colonial authorities, carved up into pieces. Let us look at countries that were not carved up. You see the difference. China was not carved up. India was not carved up. These are major economic hubs today because of the size of their internal market. I know that when we talk, some blockheads will begin to tell me of Monaco, Lesotho, Swaziland, smaller countries with 2 million. Are you stupid? Who wants to be like those countries? Who wants to be like Lesotho? Are you dumb? And this is the problem I'm saying. Uneducated Igbos always talk. Uneducated, illiterate Igbos always argue. You are telling me Lesotho as if I don't know Lesotho existed. I can even tell you more countries that are smaller. There's even a country with a population of 30,000 people. We don't want to be, those are not the examples we want to follow. We want to follow realistic examples like India and China. If the entire sub-Saharan Africa was one country, we will be the biggest and most powerful economy in the world today. And that was exactly what Nkrumah wanted. Nkrumah wanted the United States of Africa, which would be strong enough to counter those other forces. The small country, 54 countries we have in Africa, will make Africa incredibly poor forever. Weak forever. Militarily and everything, it is nothing. So, intelligent people, smart people should be looking at how to unify Africa into one country. But blockheads like the IPOB are thinking of how to break it down into little enclaves. So they'll say Elohim bless them that are speaking Igbo in heaven. Nonsense. Let me see any other question, please. Who burned the house and killed innocent Igbos during peaceful rally? Agu Kenneth. I'm not stupid. Why weren't those houses being burned before your agitation? Were those houses burnt before your peaceful protest? You got to think. Your agitation created an atmosphere. You created an atmosphere for violence. It created an atmosphere. You loaded the gun. And you're telling me somebody else fired the gun. But you loaded it. When I tell you people you are not intelligent, you can't argue with me. What do you know? I told you, Nnamdi, you are stirring up a situation, an environment that is combustible. You are creating an enabling environment for violence. And then there was violence. You want to tell me somebody else did it? Am I stupid? If you start something and create an atmosphere and somebody else uses it, why did Kensaro Uwa die? Was Kensaro Uwa the person that killed those chiefs? Why did they try Kensaro Uwa? Why did they try Zamani Lakwat in Zadgo Kataf? Why? These people were tried because they created the environment which led to the protest that led to the killing of these people. They created the environment. So Nnamdi and IPOB created the environment where criminals began to burn houses. You equipped those criminals. You created those criminals. Look at the nonsense you have done today. Before in Igbo land, we need to know armed robbers, kidnappers, arsonists, but you now turned all of them into freedom fighters. You created an atmosphere where every armed robber in the Igbo land is now a freedom fighter. And you say you are not responsible. Of course you are responsible. You are responsible for creating the atmosphere which criminals took advantage of. You are the one that brought the criminals. You should be held responsible for the activities of the criminals. Nobody's going to listen to you when you say, no, we only wanted Biafra peacefully, and then criminals burnt houses. You burnt those houses. It's just the Nigerian government is weak. I will get all of you tried and put all of you in prison. Simple. If Nigerian government is very serious, they're not going to be putting in Nnamdi. They will just arrest everybody in the executive of IPAB. You guys created that environment. You asked for Biafra, contrary to the constitution. You called the country zoo. You told them that they were being killed, that they should do this, that country zoo, that you are special people. You stirred up illiterates, and they began to protest and do nasty things, and you want to say, no, you didn't do it. I know you didn't do it. I know Nnamdi did not command the exact killing of any particular person, but I knew that his rhetoric incited them. You know, the whole thing is that some of you are not even intelligent. What did they... Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think they tried Nnamdi for? They convicted him for what he said is called incitement. Do you understand? Incitement. They didn't convict him for killing anybody because they knew he didn't kill anybody. He was outside Nigeria most of the time. They convicted him for incitement. But because you are not intelligent, you don't know the difference between incitement and actually killing people. Well, I'm sorry, Agua, I didn't mean to be harsh to you, but your question is dumb, as always. Many of you ask stupid questions. Okay, let's go on. Okay, let's see if we can find something else. Personally, no. Okay, good afternoon from Japan. Yes, Modum, how are you? From Japan. Okay, who bond? Okay, let's see this. Okay, let's see other things people said here, because the whole thing is if I can scroll and see your things. Do you think that in the creation and mismanagement of ESN, the Southeast leaders bear a large portion of the blame? Yes, I think so. No to religion and tribal manipulation. Yes, our leaders took advantage. Our leaders hedged. Our leaders were indecisive. They were watching and trying to see how they exploit the violence. And the violence was getting out of hand. And maybe politicians who wanted to assassinate their opponents, began to assassinate the opponents, hiding under the guise of ESN. And that's what IPOB was trying to say, that politicians are behind it. Yes, I know. You created the atmosphere. You loaded that gun. Is it true that Nnamdi Kanu hijacked the name Nnamdi? No. I don't think you can't hijack a name. You can change your name. Okay, I don't believe that, Nasha. The hijacking of name is nonsense. Okay, I think that's the name his parents called him. But even if they didn't call him that name, he has rights to change name. I can change my name to Nnamdi. That's not hijacking. Okay, now let's see. I enjoy. Okay, let's see. My brother, don't mind. Okay, yes. Let me see if we can get more questions. Yes, I agree. Okay, where are the... Okay, but Zeke disagrees of separation clause. Yes, Zeke disagreed. I want to disagree. I agree with you, Kanaya. Okay, Kayode. I agree with you. Zeke disagreed. I want to disagree. Every intelligent person, even today in Nigeria, every senator, every governor, every businessman, all our business gurus, all Igbo billionaires don't want Biafra. All Igbo sophisticated professors don't want Biafra. All Igbo professionals don't want Biafra. The only people that want Biafra are the idiots, the confused people, the uneducated people who are misled. So throughout history, intelligent people didn't want to be carved into tiny enclaves. Okay, let us go on. Yes, sure, I have been following. Okay, now, how do you think oil and water can mix? What is oil and water? There's nothing like oil and water. It's all in your head. Absolutely. In Igbo land, Enugu people don't think they have everything in common with Onisha people. They don't think they have everything in common with Imo people. They have different names or discriminatory remarks, derogatory remarks for the other. Onisha people call Enugu people Wawa people. That's bush people. Enugu people call Onisha people Hwa, Abuenu people. That they are gra, always money and intimidating people. Then we call on Enugu people call on Suka people something else. Then Enugu people call Abakriki people bush people. So even if you carve us down to our villages and families, human division will continue. Don't you have divisions in your village? In your village, okay, now, okay, in my village, my town, they are looking to get a new traditional ruler. Come and see the quarrel, competition between different villages in my town. If you see them talking about themselves, you think that the other villages from Mars, you won't know it is the same people. So even if you carve us down to our villages, there will still be these divisions. In your Omonina village, in your kinsmen's meet, don't you have divisions? Don't you have divisions? Don't you quarrel with families? In your own father. Okay, now, are all your uncles agreeing? No to religion. Are all your uncles and aunties united? No. There are problems. One uncle doesn't like the other. The poor uncles are accusing the rich uncle of being stingy. And the rich uncle is accusing the poor uncle of being poor and lazy. That is human nature. Conflict must exist. And you don't have to break up each time there's conflict. You find a solution. Otherwise, you break down to a point where even brothers cannot be together. Okay, imagine calling the country of your birth and origin a zoo. Of course, it was stupid because it annoyed everybody else. Even if you want to live, even if you're tired of Nigeria and you want to leave Nigeria, you don't have to treat the rest of the country derogatorily. You don't have to treat them as if they're animals. To call them zoo means you're calling them animals. And if you're calling them animals, how would they be good neighbors? Because even if they give you Biafra, Nigeria will still be our neighbor. How do you feel having a neighbor that you are insulting every day? In that place you live, if you make your neighbors angry, will you be happy? Now, okay, somebody says here, okay, what does the Igbos want from the rest of Nigeria? Now, very good question. First and foremost, we need to identify who are the Igbos and who represent the Igbos. Because a lot of the time, you are hearing from a very vocal minority. IPOB doesn't really represent the Igbos. The only thing IPOB had used is to whip up the old sentiment and pain of the 1960s. The pogrom in the North, 1966, and the Civil War was very bad. The Igbos were really treated very badly. They fought a very bad war. They left a scar. And after the war, there was no clear plan or program of reintegration. The Igbos were left to struggle. It's like to say, hey, you're lucky we didn't finish all of you, but you're on your own. So this created a permanent sense of injustice. And that sense of injustice has been exaggerated. People took advantage of it. So we need to operate in a very transparent way. We need to be honest. Those of us in Igbo land who are enlightened, supposed to hold dialogues. I call for dialogue. I call here to convene a credible stakeholders, traditional rulers, religious leaders, business elites, youth representatives, and former political leaders for closed-door dialogue. We want to, the same energy that IPOB is using to manipulate propaganda. Can we channel this thing for proper and honest communication? Let our people understand. Let us run a program that is stretched out to 10 years. If I have my way, these governors in the East should meet and establish compulsory education. Every Igbo person should get educated. We understand psychology, we understand history. We need to understand history, basic science. When you understand history, you find that you're not different from a Yoruba person. No. The similarities between human beings and the gorilla have been measured, and they said that we are 97% the same. 97% the same gorilla. So now, if they say we are in the Yoruba, you cannot find any difference, scientifically speaking. In genetic makeup, in anything, there's no difference. Any difference between Igbo man and the Yoruba man is a learned habit. You speak Igbo, he speaks Yoruba. But in terms of the core biological components, you would have spoken Yoruba if you were born in Yoruba. You would have spoken Igbo if you were born in Igbo. It's not a fundamental, it's not a different thing. It's not a serious difference that you speak Yoruba and I speak Igbo. We have the same feelings. As parents, we want to raise our children, want to pay their school fees, want them to do well, want them to be in good health, want them to live peacefully. All parents, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, they have everything in common. So this difference, somebody was saying, water and oil, that is only in your head. There's no water and oil anywhere. It is the habit, the education they gave you over time. They lied to you and brainwashed you and told you that the Yorubas are against us. Yorubas are bad. Hausas are bad. We are special. Eventually, this thing eats into you and you begin to take them as gospel truth. But these are manufactured narratives by people. All right, let's go to the next one. Somebody says, thank you for your response. However, do you realize that there are victims on the Nigerian side too? Yes. BC Tower Tower, I agree. And that goes with what I'm saying. There are victims everywhere. There are poor people everywhere. Anything the Igbos suffer, others suffer it too. Indeed, to tell you the truth, there are poorer people in the north than in the south. There is more insecurity in the north than in the south. There's greater unemployment in the north than the south. Any problem we suffer in Igbo land, they suffer more of it in the north. This is not an excuse. I'm not making an excuse that we should suffer. But I'm just trying to tell you, don't see this problem as uniquely Igbo's problem. It is our collective problem. It's Nigeria's problem. Okay. Frank Okajiofo said, Nnamdi Kanu was preaching for one Nigeria now. Was preaching for one Nigeria. Now, what makes him start agitating for Biafra is not because of bad governance. Is it not because of bad governance? He might have preached for one Nigeria. I didn't know about that. But let me tell you something. I know what made Nnamdi. I have to be honest with you. I know what made Nnamdi preach for Biafra. It's not what you think. Preaching for Biafra made Nnamdi popular, rich, influential, and powerful. Before he started preaching for Biafra, who was Nnamdi Kanu? Before Nnamdi Kanu started his IPOB Biafran project, he was a nobody. He was a barber in United Kingdom, searching for livelihood, means of sustaining himself. Then he hit a jackpot, and that jackpot is Biafra. So you don't need to look for a reason for Biafra, for his agitation. It made him a very powerful man, and he even admitted it. He said, I have the power to play God and to choose who will live or who will die. He said it. That power is enough motivation. Don't look for any other reason why he's asking for Biafra. Okay. There's no further question. I think I'm going to end it then. Okay. You know, because Nnamdi knows he cannot have Biafra. He knows. He was offering to make a deal. What deal do you think he was offering the government to settle it peacefully? If they had agreed to settle it peacefully, his condition would be, okay, I will never mention Biafra again, let me go. So it made him very popular. It's a big money. It's a big money. Do you know millions of people that contribute for Biafra? They're living themselves. When they do these rallies and all those things, do you know people who are putting money together? He's making more money than any church. Any of this mega church, Redeem and all this Nnamdi Kanu is making more money through IPOB contribution. Yes, Nnamdi was a barber in Brixton before he became Biafra. So he was a barber, paid after cutting somebody's hair, they'll give him £10. So if he's lucky, he will cut 5-6 heads hair a day. He will make £60. £60 is about 100,000 naira. Then all of us, then when he was a barber, he didn't have the power to play God. He didn't command 2 million army. He could not sink any country he likes. He didn't have the power to choose who would live or who would die. Then he started IPOB and he got that power. Oh my goodness. That's enough reason. Okay, let me see. Somebody said, Abdul Max Siemens says, 98% think when Biafra comes, they will still be in Nigeria. That is the mistake they're making, Abdul. When Biafra comes, Nigeria becomes a foreign country. You need visa. Even if you don't need visa, you have to have a passport. And you can be deported. Deportation power. You know, Ghana deports Nigeria all the time, and Nigeria can deport Ghanaians. Indeed, if Nigerians are nice. If I were their advisors, if I was advising Nigerian government, I would say let the Igbos go, but make it clear that anybody who wants to stay in Nigeria should pay 5 million to remain in Nigeria. Can you imagine? Nigeria will be very rich. Just go to Lagos, say to them, now you have your Biafra, you can stay. If you pay 5 million, you can remain in Lagos. Otherwise, you're going to be deported. They will pay 5 million to remain in Lagos. Nigeria will make a lot of money out of them. Nonsense. People are not smart. Anyway, thanks for your... Okay, that's BC Tower. Now, Okowo Kayode said here, Okowo Kayode Ayoade said, how true is it that 2017... oh, come on. Okay, hold on. Okay, 2017 asked him to go with 5 states of the South. How is it true that 2017, I don't understand the question. Maybe you can rephrase it, Okowo. I don't know what he meant by that. Okay? Okay, well, you can rephrase the question because it's not clear what you... How true is it that 2017 asked him to... No. I can't figure it out. Okay, ask him to choose 5 states. They ask him to choose 5 states. Nobody asked him to choose any 5 states. No such thing. It's not true. Not true at all. They met in Enugu. They asked him to call off the boycott of election. Nigeria is a very interesting place. Somebody who was not elected, somebody who had no legitimacy, you are begging him to call off. Nigerians are funny. Anywhere else, they will arrest you and try you and sentence you to life within 2 weeks. Not this one, they keep you trying you for 5 years, 10 years. Okay. You are telling people to boycott election. You are creating instability and insurrection in the country. They'll send you straight to prison. You won't have fun. You won't have any access to anybody. And when people don't hear from you for 6 months, they will forget you. That's the life. But Nigeria is very stupid each time. They don't know what to do. They're confused. And that's why somebody who was never elected, somebody sent by Elohim, Nnamdi said that he was sent by Elohim. God sent him. He didn't say he was elected. He didn't say he was sent by Elohim. You allow somebody sent by Elohim to be ordering seats at home in your country. If I'm the leader of any country and you're calling seats at home, you'll be very lucky if you get tried. You'll be very, very lucky if you get tried. Because I will treat that seat at home as a declaration of war and shoot you as if you're killed in the battlefield. 5 million is even small. Go and get a permit of a foreign country. Is even small too. Okay, well, the whole thing is not measured by number really. It's measured by due process. Okay? And if we have referendum, the funny thing is if we have the referendum, the Igbos, after proper education, they will not ask for, they won't vote for it. Igbos outside Igbo land will not support the referendum, and they will tell their relatives in the village not to support referendum because Igbos outside Igbo land have money. They are all Igbo billionaires are based in Lagos or Abuja. 80% of Igbo billionaires are based outside. So they don't want their shops closed. Thanks so much for the enlightenment. Okay, thank you. And then Jordan, Mauricio George. Okay, we wanted to ask if the federal government asked him to go with the 5 states of the Igbo Biafra land because this is what it's not true. Not at all. Federal government did not recognize him at all. It was the state that talked to him. And nobody will ask him, go where? Go and do what with 5 states? What will he be? Will he be their king or their governor or their president? No such thing. It is the sort of lies he gives his idiotic followers. Nobody ever, by the way, let me make something clear to all of you now. Nobody ever offered Nnamdi anything. Nigerian government never offered him anything. That is the story he's telling you people. Nigerian government never offered him anything. You know what you have to understand? Nnamdi was never in a position to threaten the government. No. He was causing nuisance and irritation. Okay? That Buhari is dead and cloned. It was annoyance and irritation. He never threatened the Nigerian state. Who will offer you anything? Something Ojukwu could not get. Ojukwu fought war. We lost 3 million to get independent of Biafra. We didn't get it. Then somebody will call you and tell you to go with 5. Nnamdi is the dreamer and the biggest liar. But he's lying because he knows his followers are stupid. They will believe anything he tells them. The three major ethnic groups in Nigeria are like oil and water. There is tension. These tensions are created by politicians. They are not based on science. They are not based on logic. They are not based on fact. It is tensions created by politicians, and we cannot start a war because of it. And I want you to know that if you turn each region, ethnic group, into a country on its own, there will still be tension. There will always be tension. The Yorubas have tension. Now, one that Kintola were fighting, and you saw Jim Wobodo. I mean, Ono was fighting Ojukwu. I mean, Ono was fighting Zik. Zik was fighting Ojukwu. So wherever you put it, there will be demarcation. Today, look at the north. You see the division in the north. Buhari and Atiku, we are fighting. Were they not fighting? So don't think that because people are in the same ethnic group, there will be peace. So even if you give us Biafra, the same fight will continue. This was said, if Nigeria deports Biafrans, Biafra will equally deport Nigerians too. You see why I say that you people have no brains? You have no brains. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but you have no brains. How many hotels in Igbo land are owned by non-Igbos? How many schools in Igbo land are owned by non-Igbos? How many houses in Igbo land are owned by non-Igbos? Look at your thinking. I'm sure you are IPOB mentality. The Igbos dominate the market in Lagos. So you say if they deport Igbos from Lagos, then you deport Nigerians from Oka. How many Nigerians are in Oka? I'm sorry now, but you have to be intelligent if you want to debate with me now. Some intelligence is helpful. How can Nigeria prevent the repeat of another Nnamdi Kanu? That is a challenge, BC. I am sad to say that they have no solution, and that is what worries me. And many people are coming up. There are more such things because it is easy to set up. There's no consequence. They did not deal with Wazirike, and because they did not deal with Wazirike, they can try Nnamdi came, and because they did not deal with Nnamdi, Epa came, and all these things. But if you deal with these people decisively to end, okay, no Igbo that has properties and companies across Nigeria will want Biafra to come. Of course. Even me, the little apartment I have in Lagos, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not going in damn place. It's only a poor person living in Igbo land who has never left Igbo land, who has no interest outside Igbo land, that wants a country. And he thinks if they give him a country, he will do better. No way. You will do worse. Never in any position to threaten Nigeria. No. Nnamdi was never in any position to threaten Nigeria. Listen, you guys don't know. A country that can kill you in a moment. They could have killed Nnamdi in Kenya. When they got Nnamdi in Kenya, Nnamdi didn't know. He was coming out of a car. Pam, he was surrounded. He didn't even know people who beat him up and blindfolded him. He didn't know where he was. They took him to somewhere. They kept him for 6 days and tortured him. Nobody knew where he was. He didn't know where he was. If they had killed him, nobody would know. Nobody would even know what happened. So the idea that Nnamdi was threatening Nigeria and they were afraid of him, that is cock and bull story. They tell IPOB. They should actually be lucky and thank Nigeria for not killing him, because they had every opportunity to eliminate him. They could have killed him in many places. One bullet in that parking lot, he wouldn't even know who shot him. Or they took him and killed him where they kept him, nobody would know. Or they pushed him out of the plane when they were flying, nobody would know. So all this nonsense people are talking is just because they are foolish. Okay, this one says, okay, yeah, Uchenna Okeke. I think Uchenna is a lady, I don't know. Never in any position to threaten Nigeria. That's correct. Uchenna was never in any position to threaten Nigeria. Kingsley Young says, Uchenna, Naboki, you will send back. Yes, they will send back the aboki that makes sure. The aboki that is making sure in Obara Avenue, Enugu. That's the one you will send back. Or the aboki, the gate man. That's the one you will send back. But the Igbo man that owned the hotel, 5-star hotel in Abuja, when they send him back to Igbo, and Igbo will retaliate by sending Aboki back. Stupid thought. Think, please. I mean, this is how I am, even in my class. I don't like students asking stupid questions. Okay, never in any pocket. This one says, okay, my brother Uche, wake up. Okay, yes, Uche, you're wrong. They're not going to send Aboki back in exchange for, okay, Ararume has, Senator Ararume owns supermarkets in Abuja. Even Obi has a supermarket. Peter Obi has supermarkets in Abuja. So when they close his supermarket in Abuja and send him back to Igbo land, then you tell the Aboki that is selling sewer to close his sewer joint and go back to the north. You have retaliated. Okay. Our people always making arguments without thinking. They don't think before they argue. Yes, they don't think at all. Okay, no reasonable person would support Biafra. Absolutely. I am sorry to say to my elder, you are fooling those who knows nothing about state creation. Okay, Uchenna, can you tell us about state creation? At least I studied it in international law. Tell us something. Don't say a fool. Just give us how are states created. Tell me how Biafra will be created. Tell me about state creation. Anyway, let's go. No to religion and rebel says, sir, I feel your analysis is somewhat manipulative. Okay, how? How is it manipulative? Sure, I'm willing to learn. He said, I asked several questions, but you only answered one of them. I really want to learn. No, please, repeat those questions. I'm sorry. You know, these things are scrolling up. No religion. I didn't mean to jump your question. Oh, please, bear with me. Can you rephrase the question, my brother? I will answer them. Okay, the ones I haven't answered. The ones I answered, don't repeat that one. Okay, Abdul Magzi says, I lived in Peckham, but work in Bristol. Kanu was a Baba in Bristol. Yes, we know. Kanu was a Baba. In UK, Kanu was a Baba. But in Biafra, he's a prophet, he's a king, he's an emperor, he's a messiah, he's a wise man, he's a lawyer who knows law more than the judges. That is it, Abdul. That is it. So, that's very interesting. But the funny thing, unlike Uwazurike was in Nigeria fighting for his agitation. No, Kanu collects the money in Nigeria and goes to UK to live a very comfortable life. You know, comfortable life, flies around, and then brags he's king, he can have anything he wanted. A man who has power of life and death over anybody can also have any woman he wants. Oh yes, why not? He's a powerful man. Nonsense. When you tell them that Khan is not educated, they say you are insulting him. You are insulting him. I'm not insulting him, it is true. Have you ever shown me his education? Have you ever pointed at any evidence of his education? No. All you say, I'm not insulting him. He put himself in public square. If you put yourself in public square, we scrutinize you. If I come out there and start claiming to be this and that, you have right to ask me for my background. Even right now, you have right to ask me about my background. Okay, Uchenna said, have I been sent back from the United States of Nigeria where I'm staying now? Excuse me. If I naturalize in America, I won't be sent back. I'll become American citizen. So, but the question is, have I ever asked to leave America? Have I ever asked to be sent back? So now, how can you ask to leave Nigeria and then apply to naturalize in Nigeria? If I'm in America, it may be because I have naturalized. That means I apply, I say, please, let me be an American citizen, and they granted it. Are you telling me that after you secede from Nigeria, you will apply to naturalize in Nigeria? Okay, now help yourself, man. Think, brother. Think. Okay. Sir, it is difficult to deal with an illiterate. I agree with you, Owuka. Absolutely, Owuka, you are. That is the nightmare. That's my nightmare. As a teacher, I already have minimum qualification of the students I meet in a class. If I'm a teacher teaching contract law, I already know what the students knew before they came to this class. So it is easy to flow. It is easy to know where to start, where to stop, because I knew all the people in this class had equal qualification before they got to this level. But here on social media, I have PhD here, but I have an illiterate as well. So it's difficult to teach an illiterate and a PhD in the same class. It's not possible. So that's my wahala. Okay? All right. It is just unfortunate that Kanu allowed himself to be used. No, nobody used Kanu. Kanu wants power. He's using himself. Nobody used him or BC. Kanu enjoys the power. Kanu enjoys the power. Can MK be freed without agreeing to withdraw from advocating? No, it cannot happen, Ibrahim. How can he? He won't be freed. They'll give him very stringent conditions, and they're not going to free him easily. Not soon, not soon. So, you know what? They may not free him in the next 10 years. So this idea of can Kanu be freed? No, I don't see how that will happen. It's going to be difficult. I don't see them working in that direction. But maybe as the election approaches, maybe something will happen. It is just unfortunate that Kanu was used. Kanu, nobody used him, he used himself. Greed pushed him. When an Igbo man that owned big hotel in Abuja is sent back to Igbo land, then sent back a Bokima. That's what they think. Good question. Uchenoke, haven't the Igbo asked to leave Nigeria? Well, but that's what they're trying to do. Uchenna, that's what secession means. So, or didn't you know that when you have Biafra, that means you want to be in a different country from Nigeria? Okay, that, yes. No religion comes up again. Okay, oh, hold on. Bill Gates lost billions of dollars in his divorce settlement with his wife. No one would want to lose such a huge amount, but their separation was necessary. It was ultimately the best decision. Okay, let me see. Okay, oh no. Okay, no, no to religion. It is incorrect to treat divorce and separation as the same, and the secession as the same thing. You know it's not now. Huh? This was the same nonsensical argument Nnamdi was making, comparing secession with the United Kingdom leaving the European Union. How can you compare divorce with secession? I don't have an answer for you on that one. The land of Biafra is not in Igbo land. You are very right, Daniel. That claim of Biafra is a dubious claim. The claim is not an Igbo thing. The people that can claim it are the river, Bayelsa, Cross River area. And they're not claiming it. Ojukwu chose Biafra because he didn't want to choose an Igbo name. So Ojukwu understood that Biafra is not Igbo. The choice of Biafra was to send a message to the Biafran minorities that the Igbos will not dominate them. I don't know why the Igbos are still hanging on to Biafra. Okay, this person says, Onion Dufu Kanu has wrecked the psyche of vast. Yes, that is the saddest thing. And that is why I think repair should begin from reorientation of the Igbos. Okay, we said, how often do you come up online, both Facebook and TikTok? I have not been coming up on TikTok, and I do come up on Facebook, but I hardly allow interactions as I'm doing now. This is the first time I'm allowing people to ask me questions, and it's good experience. We're going to do it again. I don't have a structure, but maybe next time I'm going to come online, I will announce in advance so that people will gather to today. So I'm going to do it Sunday evening around 9 p.m. Nigerian time. I'm going to repeat this 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay? Now, okay, then Obogo Samson, please forgive me if I don't pronounce your name well. You know, I don't mean to bastardize your name. Okay, so Samson says, thank you so much for your teaching. You inspire me a lot. Thank you so much, Samson. I really appreciate your kind words. Uche Okeke, Uche said I'm wrong. Okay, Uche, no problem. The good thing is that you're a good man, Uche. You don't get angry, even when I use harsh word. And I apologize for my harsh word. It is, I'm like a father. When children annoy me, I get angry with them, but I do it out of love. So even if I abuse you, Uche, I'm doing it out of love. The way I abuse my son sometimes, if they talk nonsense. Okay, let's go on to Enzo Uzo says here. Okay, Enzo Uzo. Enzo Uzo says here. Oyendufukano has succeeded in replacing the nerve. Oh God. Wow. Enzo Uzo, I lost you. Okay, no, let's go. Let me find Enzo Uzo. Okay. Nnamdi has succeeded in replacing the nerve cells in the brains of some people. Yes, the people were very badly brainwashed and damaged. That's why I think in any effort to restore the situation in Igbo land, we have to work on the minds of the people, because there is something you must know about human life. My mentor, Voltaire, he said, if you want people to commit atrocity, you should first get them to believe in absurdities. Because what we do depends on what we believe in. Nnamdi Kanu utilized this very well. He fed our people with series of absurdities. And once those absurdities settled in their brains, they became ready to commit atrocities. And they did commit atrocities. So reorientation is very important. In my recommendations to Nigerian government, I have written a series of memos to the government, advising them on what to do. In my memos, I always put room for orientation of the people, okay, to get our children back to order, to get them to understand the future. It will take a long time, but that's how it was going to happen. Then Kingsley said, Uche Biko, we are who? Listen, Kingsley, leave Uche alone. Uche has made his point. We now got it, okay? Uche has made his point. Then Uche is even answering. Uche said, who are you asking me? Who are Uche and Kingsley? Stop. Let's go back to serious things. Okakapol said, who should claim the name Biafra? South people or Southeast? Yes, South people are the people who have historical tie to that name. But that name was actually given to them by explorers. And it was not really given to any of this. It is the water. If you look at the shoreline, the Atlantic shoreline, you see it moved up between, this is, let's say this is River Niger, okay? I don't know. So this river, it moves up like that incline. That incline is the bite. You know, as if to say the water took a bite of the land. That's why it's called the bite of Biafra. So it is that incline, not any particular territory. It is the geographical expression, more or less. But the people it applied to the most were the the people in the coastal cities of Bayelsa and rivers. Okay? Yes, okay. I'm going to try to set up on TikTok. I'll set up something on TikTok and I will announce it and we can have this discussion on TikTok. I'll just try to do it, okay? All right, thank you for your suggestion. Then, NjenjeMedia says, thanks, brother, and keep up the, thank you, Njenje. God bless you as well, okay? And, Okeke, again, thank you. Okeke, please forgive me if I'm harsh to you. I love you, and you can send me messages personally. We will be good friends. But when we come to this gathering, I am like this. You need to see me and my younger brothers. So if they talk nonsense, I rebuke them. But they know I love them nonetheless. Okay, Enzo says here, the time to embark on character reformation in Southeast is now. You are very right, Uzo. Absolutely. But we cannot do it without government input. And our government seem confused and weak. And you see me criticizing them all the time. They need to act purposively and clearly and determinedly to achieve an outcome. Otherwise, look at the hatred I'm seeing exchanged on social media. Igbos cussing Yoruba, Yoruba cussing the Igbos. Somebody asked me today, do I think there could be a Rwanda in Nigeria? There could be. And it will be the fault of the government. We need to start addressing these things, removing the absurdities in the minds of our people so we can save them from committing atrocities. Okay? Okay. Daniel Iwuchukwu said, I really enjoy your lecture today. Thank you, Dan. God bless you. Yes. Ozo spoke about Biafra. It is. And by the way, what do we mean by Biafra? Because many people don't understand it. They said, oh, I'm abusing the Igbos, calling them fraud. No. 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 Biafra is each time a person uses the name of Biafra to obtain money from another person. That means you are cheating somebody in the name of Biafra. Wazulike, Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, they were all Biafrans. They were using the name of Biafra to get money, to become powerful and influential. That is Biafra. It doesn't mean that I'm condemning all the people who claim to be Biafrans. No, 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 no. I'm speaking about Biafra. That is the tendency to use Biafra to defraud. That is Biafra. Then, I also talk of Biafus. Biafus are those people who are deceived in the name of Biafra. That are the Biafus. Okay? That is a way of getting people to understand what I'm talking about. Okay? Then, Uchenna Keke, Uchenna said, tell us who are among the ethnic Nigerians that suggest the name Nigeria. Okay, very good. The name, of course, I know this is a rhetorical question. You know the answer. The time the name Nigeria came up, we were not independent. Nigeria was not an independent state. Only the colonial authority could give name then. And why did they give it Nigeria? It derived from the river Niger. You have to understand that when the British came into the territory, we can now come to Nigeria, they were influenced by the river Niger. That's why you studied about Mungo Park and Landa Brothers. They were trying to know where this river went. It was a curiosity thing. So it became a reference point in the map. When they come to Europe, then you didn't have all these countries, Benin Republic, Togo. No. What you have is just the Africa. There was no way to distinguish territory. They used these rivers as indication. The same thing in Congo. Congo River, Nile River. These things were how they were calling natural landmarks. So when they came to Nigeria, they saw the Niger area. Okay? And that name was actually coined by Shaw, Miss Shaw. Okay? The girlfriend of Lord Lugard. Okay? That is it. So, but the name doesn't matter. It was given in 1914, okay, during the amalgamation. And many of you should read this book that will explain to you. You know, you need to understand what led to amalgamation. If you know what led to amalgamation, you'll be very shocked. It was not for any purpose. It was not in the interest of Nigerians. It was not done to help us. It was just done for administrative convenience of the British colonial authority. The money coming from the Southern Protectorate of Nigeria was so huge. The money coming from Northern Protectorate was very small. In other words, the amount needed to administer the Northern Protectorate could not come from the North. So to make it easy to cover the cost of running the Northern Protectorate, they used the excess resources from the Southern Protectorate, that is South, to administer the North. So it was purely accounting calculation. It's not in our interest, but that was then. We can make the best of our situation now. Okay? Things have changed between 1914 and now. Okay? Thank you. Let's go to the next thing. So please, brother, tell us who... Okay, that's Ucha. Answer the question. Thank you so much for interaction time for me to sign out. Thank you, Jordan. God bless you and good night. The three major ethnic groups in Nigeria are like oil and water. I think I've answered it. There's nothing like that. They mixed and mingled, and they can mingle and mix. Other nations were created that way. The United States were different from the Indians they met here, but people build up and unite. Look at in South Africa. South Africa, the white and the black form a country and are doing well. So what are you talking about? Okay? We can mix. It's not a problem. Okay? Thank you so much. God bless all of you, and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay? Also, thank you so much. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay? Good night.